African American, Mexican, they always made for the biggest fights in history.
Terrence Crawford should fight David Benavidez if they both lobbying so hard to fight Canelo Alvarez.
A lot of these good fighters fight each other, and a lot of these great fighters, they fight each other. It's too.
Even long after walking away from professional competition, Floyd Mayweather continues to stay in the boxing spotlight, whether it's through flashy exhibition bouts or by stirring the pot with bold, headline-grabbing remarks that keep his name circulating in the sport.
I'm behind the scenes. So sometimes a fighter can retweet something, just to get the people out of their seats or get the people going. And Terrence Crawford, hell of a fighter.
Now, he's taken his boldest step yet, one that could reshape how his legacy is remembered. Speaking with zero hesitation, Mayweather laid it all out, explaining why the pound-for-pound ruler, Terrence Crawford, needs to chase the matchup most people believe can never happen.
I'm going to ask you, if I say these fighters' names to you, what is the first word that comes to mind?
Okay.
So the first one is Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Great fighter.
David Benavidez.
Good fighter.
The last one is Terrence Crawford.
Good fighter.
The newly crowned pound-for-pound undefeated 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, Terrence Bud Crawford. Floyd Mayweather said in an interview with Fight Hype, Floyd Mayweather made a statement that Terrence Bud Crawford should face off against the Mexican-Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez, the 2-time WBC super middleweight and reigning WBC light heavy.
It began during an unfiltered interview when Mayweather was pressed about what should come next for Crawford. And when it's coming from someone who walked away flawless and engineered some of boxing's most lucrative showdowns, these words carried real weight. This wasn't empty hype. He opened by giving credit where it was due, showing respect before diving deeper.
Wait. I think when he was like, a really super skillful fighter, very talented fighter.
He made sure to show appreciation first, then he dropped the bomb. With a Canelo-Alvarez showdown no longer realistic for Crawford, Mayweather dismissed the speculation and delivered a cold, no-nonsense alternative. He shifted the spotlight to David Benavidez, the intimidating force fans call the Mexican monster, and delivered a blunt message: if both fighters are chasing Canelo, stop wasting time and fight each other. There was no sugarcoating it. His message was sharp, clear, and unapologetically honest.
Let's talk about that, a while back. And I thought about this, if he wanted to go to 168, and he want to fight Canelo bad, and Benavidez want to fight Canelo bad, if they can't get Canelo, they can fight each other. Benavidez and Crawford.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wow, for real?
I'm saying that both of you guys are chasing one fighter. If y'all feel like y'all chasing him and y'all can't get that fighter, then y'all should say, fuck it, we'll fight each other. I don't know. I just threw that out there because you told me about Benavidez trying to fight Canelo, and I know that, Terrence Bud Crawford has been trying to fight Canelo. They both been trying to get that fight done. And it seems like both have been trying to get it done extremely bad. Now, if you can't get it done, then make you guys fight. Say fuck it.
In an instant, a matchup that barely existed in fans' minds was thrust into the spotlight, transforming from a distant thought into a real conversation almost overnight.
Hello, bro. You feel me? The man don't look like he want to fight you. You feel me?
Right.
And this kid there, the business of the game, bro. Sometimes it's just...
Let me ask.
And this wouldn't be some ordinary bout. It would be a collision between fighters from entirely different weight classes, making the idea even more shocking and intriguing.
David Benavidez, those are some fighters that...
I'm just not really praising fighters. It's giving the guys their props. Saying, this guy can fight.
To really grasp how wild this proposal sounds, you have to consider the weight difference. Terrence Crawford is a technical genius who launched his rise at 135 pounds. And now, according to the narrative, he's gone as far as dominating the 168-pound landscape, even surpassing Canelo with a masterclass performance.
Odds to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your ass.
Okay.
David Benavidez, on the other hand, is built for this weight. He's a true super middleweight by nature, a devastating power puncher who reportedly walks around north of 180 pounds and barely squeezes down to the 168-pound limit. Many insiders believe his long-term home is actually light heavyweight at 175. So this isn't merely a matter of pounds on a scale. The physical gap is massive. The height, the frame, the reach, it's a clear imbalance. This matchup represents a canyon between divisions, setting up a classic boxing dilemma, the brilliance of precision and intelligence versus overwhelming size and raw strength. And it leads to the ultimate question, can elite skill really neutralize sheer physical dominance?
Great job. He was involved in Riyadh season, and they own Ring Magazine now. So the reason why that's significant is the Ring Magazine belt is one of the only belts that kind of been, there's a bunch of different organizations that are sanctioning bodies. There's the WBO, the WBC, the IBF. There's all these different, it's very fractured, right? But Ring Magazine has always been like, Roy Jones Jr. was the Ring Magazine middleweight champion of the world, the Ring Magazine super middleweight champion of the world. Like, that's the gold standard is Ring Magazine.
So there would be one belt.
They can do that and then overpower everything else with money. And then really...
The stakes for Crawford would be enormous, and he knows it. There's no denying the danger he'd face stepping into the ring against a force like Benavidez.
Would you ever entertain a fight with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez? It's you on Canelo. It's you on Canelo.
You gotta understand, like.
But I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know.
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. You know what I mean? Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. You know what I mean? His brother was big. I fought him. But, you know what I mean? Benavidez is a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude. Like, you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
A retired icon weighing in is one thing, but today, fights aren't decided in training rooms. They're brokered by men wielding billion-dollar contracts. Just as fans were writing off Mayweather's proposal as a far-fetched dream, the landscape shifted entirely, turning speculation into a real possibility.
This is the gloves of the champ. He gave it to me, and this is important gift from him. It's mean a lot to me. We do it. I like the logo. Yeah. Very, very beautiful logo. The champ, the champ have a lot of surprise for his city and for the future. He want to rest now for 1 or 2 months. Then we will tell you the surprise.
Sure.
Thank you.
If it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terrence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
Then the sport's ultimate power broker, Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh, stepped into the picture. Social media buzzed, forums lit up, and one of his enigmatic tweets hinted that the new kingmaker of boxing wasn't just curious, he was seriously considering the matchup. In an instant, what seemed impossible gained the backing of a man who could turn dreams into reality with just one phone call. This wasn't speculation anymore. The idea became tangible, and the boxing world didn't just debate it, it exploded.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look at
Not now, that 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 though.
But when you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off, you know. But me personally, I believe in my skills and my abilities. I could beat anybody.
This is what he talking about. Because he like, man, he's not a big dude. He just kept saying he's not a big dude and you can beat him. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, damn, Bill, right. You know what I mean? So then it was just like, okay.
The boxing community erupted into chaos, sharply divided. On one side, analysts like Kofi Genchua were shouting, "This isn't fair." They argued that expecting a smaller, more technical fighter like Crawford to take on a powerhouse like Benavidez crossed a line, a dangerous gamble that ignored the very real risks to fighter safety.
Too big, too strong. We don't, don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Yet the other side pushed back just as fiercely. Voices like Lonnie B didn't mince words, forecasting total devastation with warnings like, David Benavidez will destroy Terence Crawford. To them, raw strength and size were undeniable forces that even genius-level skill couldn't overcome. The argument exploded everywhere, online, in barbershops, in gyms, leaving fans to wonder, was this the ultimate test of greatness or a near-certain disaster waiting to happen?
Just wanted to get your thoughts on when Canelo made that comment. Just what's your thoughts?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, he's speaking how he feels. He knows what he's doing. He's been in huge fights. He's made an enormous amount of money, several hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. He's had a fantastic career thus far. He's fought everybody that he possibly could. And David Benavidez is just another challenge out there potentially for him. I'm excited. As a fan, I would love to see the fight. But at the end of the day, Canelo's calling the shot.
Amid all the chaos, attention naturally turned to the two fighters at the heart of the debate. David Benavidez, long in pursuit of a career-defining showdown, didn't hesitate. He openly welcomed the challenge, confident that his raw power would carry the day. Crawford's camp, however, painted a very different picture. Sources revealed that his trainer quickly dismissed the proposal, insisting that the massive size gap made the fight an unwise and unnecessary gamble.
He was like, Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
So.
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No,
there. No, we ain't doing that fight. Maybe planning on vacating the belt.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belt. We just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back.
Crawford sits at the top of the sport, and he has safer, more traditional options ahead. Matchups against elite contenders like Tim Tszyu or Keith Thurman offer high-profile battles without the extreme danger, keeping his legacy intact while minimizing unnecessary risk.
Whoever to, make a quick buck or make a quick little penny, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. You know, this is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight, that will be talked about for years.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Terence doesn't want to do that, or there's guys like, I know Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman are fighting here soon, and I guess he could possibly fight the winner of that. Or do you think, I know there's still that guy, Jaron Boots Ennis, floating around. It's that younger name floating around at welterweight. I know,
I think they're gonna have a fight. Boots Ennis, just like we always say, somebody got to give you a chance. Somebody got to give you an opportunity and a chance. So somebody got to give Boots the opportunity and a chance, whether it's Terence or somebody else. It seems like it's been difficult for Crawford to get that Spence fight done. It's been difficult for him to get the Canelo fight done. So his other option is probably Boots Ennis.
But it's not only Benavidez posing a threat. Waiting in his own division is another unbeaten powerhouse, Jaron Boone Ennis, a fighter whose matchup is widely regarded as equally perilous, adding another layer of danger to Crawford's decision-making.
You think there's anything left for him, Coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight going.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. He looked at excellent.
Is there
What surprised you
anybody?
the most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for buck?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jerron Ennis going to 160. Possibly going Jerron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight? You think
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying in the boxing fans that know boxing.
This new battleground only strengthens voices like Greg Hackett's, who argue that Crawford doesn't need Benavidez at all. From their perspective, he's already at the summit. Why would a reigning king risk everything by stepping into a lion's den when safer, smarter options exist? Yet for Crawford, navigating high-stakes gambles has always been part of the journey. He spent years embroiled in a bitter, highly public feud with his legendary promoter, Bob Arum. Crawford felt Top Rank wasn't delivering the mega fights necessary to cement his legacy, most notably, the elusive showdown with Errol Spence Jr. The split was messy, with accusations flying both ways. Arum couldn't make the big fights happen, and Crawford wasn't seen as a big enough draw. Forced to fight for his own path, Crawford bet on himself, taking control of his career and destiny. The irony is thick. He broke away to chase greatness on his own terms, and now, as the undisputed king, he's being dared to leap into a volcanic challenge. But to grasp why this conversation is even alive, you have to consider the man who's no longer at the center, Canelo Alvarez. For years, Canelo was the face of boxing. That changed in September 2025, when Crawford executed a masterful dismantling. In Crawford's own words, he didn't just take the belts, he claimed the throne.
I didn't see this after. Is it true that you walked up to him and you gave him the belts back?
Yeah, for sure.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Why'd you do that?
They his belts. You know, I want to be the one to, you know, give them back to him.
But you mean actually they're your belts? You took it. You won.
They're my belts, but you know, my belts is gonna come personalized. Like his belts is personalized. You know, them his. I took his titles. You know, the belts is, you know, going home with him. You know, the titles is coming home with me. I'm gonna get my new belts, you know, and those belts is going home with him. And I just felt like it was only right that, you know, I'll be the one to present them back to him.
I promise you.
When you in his situation, right? Belts don't matter. That was like Floyd Mayweather. Who gonna tell Floyd Mayweather a belt matter? They make belts for you at that point,
right?
You know, the belts don't matter. Once you get to a certain peak in your career, you outgrow the belts because you got to pay for the belts anyway. Absolutely. Like I'm gonna give you these belts. They gonna come and watch me regardless. You know, so now it comes to a point where we negotiate the percentage of the belts because we gotta pay for the belts. How can I be champion of the world and I gotta pay you?
The loss was earth-shattering, so much so that respected figures like trainer Ronnie Shields openly hinted that the Mexican superstar should consider retirement. Yet, in a surprising turn that underscores just how much influence he still commands, Canelo reportedly has 2 high-paying fights left on his deal with DAZN. This sets up a strange paradox: a dethroned king, dismissed by some, yet still one of boxing's most powerful financial magnets.
It was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
Well, you just size them up. Yeah. You just size them up, especially when you going into a bigger weight class like that. You know what I mean? You size them up and you see, you know, your advantages and his advantages. A lot of people might say, "Oh, well, we want to see Benavidez, Canelo," but to be real,
you don't want to see that.
Yeah, as a boxing fan, it would be.
Crawford's triumph left a clear power vacuum, and fighters like Benavidez, who had long been chasing the elusive shadow of Canelo, suddenly had a fresh, tangible target in their sights.
Canelo's in a position now to where he gets to pick and choose. Floyd did it, Chavez did it, De La Hoya did it.
All the greats did it.
All the greats did it. And I think ties back into the 4 belts. When you're paying to fight for the belt, it's like...
But Mayweather's jaw-dropping suggestion wasn't the only explosive moment from that interview. He He also posed the essential question every elite fighter eventually faces. When asked about the risk versus reward for Crawford, Floyd didn't focus on weight classes or technical ability, he went deeper. He emphasized motive, saying every fighter must decide, is this about cementing a legacy, chasing the payday, or a mix of both?
Ask yourself, is it about the legacy? Is it about the money? Is it about both? You know, I'm not in these fighters' heads, so I don't know. But if you want to fight, fight them. If you do want to fight them. If you don't fight them. Fight somebody else.
Makes sense.
These fighters should do what makes you happy.
This wasn't casual commentary, it was a rare glimpse into the mind of a boxing mogul. Floyd even gave a mini masterclass, explaining that during his own clash with Canelo, he strategically allowed Canelo's team to set the catch weight, showing how control and negotiation can shape a fight before a punch is ever thrown.
That's a risky fight. At least I thought at the time it was a risky, even though you made it look like
and for the record, a lot of people said it was at a catch weight. I mean, I didn't choose the catch weight. Canelo did. I didn't ask for a catch weight.
Yeah, I remember that.
I just know. I remember somebody from the Canelo team had done an interview and said, "Yo, we'll fight Floyd at the catch weight." So my team jumped on and said, "Well, tell me what catch weight you guys want to fight at." They chose the catch weight. We said, "Let's do it." It didn't matter to me. We wanted to fight at 54. I would have fought anyway. But I think when we fought at 54.
By letting his opponent dictate what seemed like an advantage, he eliminated any room for excuses before the fight even began. This gives Mayweather's challenge an added dimension. Is he merely proposing a matchup, or is he forcing Crawford to adopt the mindset of a true A-side fighter, cutting through a sport crowded with belts and champions, and returning to the old-school essence of boxing, the two best fighters facing off in the ring to settle it once and for all?
We have to go back to the old school. And I say the old school, meaning, in which we are getting back to that, you know. And for a while, I thought that it wasn't like that, but a lot of these good fighters fight each other, and a lot of these great fighters, they fight each other. But what we got to do is we got to cut down on all these belts. It's too many champions. We got to get back to the old school.
Now, Terence Crawford finds himself at a pivotal crossroads. He's dominated every division he's entered, reaching the pinnacle with his stunning victory over Canelo. There's nothing left to prove, yet this once unimaginable challenge now looms large, fueled by a legendary promoter and backed by staggering sums of money. Does he choose the safer path, maintaining his reign, or does he risk everything for a fight that could cement his place among the all-time greats? This question strikes at the heart of modern boxing itself. Is it a true test of skill and legacy, or a perilous spectacle driven by money and hype? And in an era where 9-figure paydays are on the table, does the danger even carry weight anymore? That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our next uploads. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned, we'll see you in the next one.